If I go back to me as a teacher, my passion was always young people believing in who they were.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a class war.
I was sort of beginning to think, and a lot of people were saying to me, you would make a great headmaster.
We'd had our fourth child, and so domestically life was very, very intense. But then this job popped up at the prep school connected to the senior school he was working in. It was the dream job, actually. So bit by bit it dawned on him that this was a really exciting prospect.
Have you had juice?
I had to do a medical. It was a sort of formality that was just required by the governing body, and so I went off to the school doctor. He had me jumping up and down and checking that various parts of my body worked. And then we finished up with the eye test, and out came what's called the acuity board, and my left eye was covered over and I was fine. I went right down to the bottom line, bring it on, I thought this is easy. And then my right eye was covered over and I couldn't even see the big bold A at the top.
They wanted to do further tests, and then they wanted to do an MRI, and we started to smell a rat after 2 hours.
And then suddenly the door opens, and it was like results time. It was like A-level results. Here we go. Let's hear the future. What's the news? And this lady saying to me, "You're a very poorly man." And she then said, we're currently deciding on whether to airlift you from Bath to Bristol to be operated on tonight. And that was the point at which I had the presence of mind and said, what's wrong with me? And it was, you've got an extensive brain tumour. I'm going to get it out and I'm going to try and knead it, okay?
Yeah, sure.
I'll move the bowl away. Oh gosh. And I do remember speaking to my oldest son, Herbie, who was then about 10 or 11, saying to me, "Dad, are you going to die?" And I just replied, "I don't know, my boy, but I'm going to fight." And we drove off to meet, the appointed neurosurgeon. And I remember him saying to me, your tumour's everywhere. Your tumour is everywhere. And this is going to be a real fight. But if you're happy to do your part, I'll do my part.
So, yeah, the day. So the operation.
I was trying to be strong. I was trying to be, this is going to be okay. I'm going to be a brave boy. I'm about to start crying. And then the moment came, and
he had to go in, and yeah, it was quite.
Yeah, it was the defining moment, really, because prior to that I'd been sort of normal, and then there was just a sense as you went through those doors, what am I going to come out as?
When he came out, he was in high dependency unit, and he said on the first day, "Oh, I can't see much, it's so dark." And the nurses were saying, "Oh yeah, that's normal, after surgery, that's normal." Day 2, consultant said the same. Day 3, day 4, I felt like my husband had gone in, a healthy man, and I'd been given back this man who'd been through a car crash. It didn't feel like redemptive surgery, it felt the opposite. It felt like he'd come out and it was trashed.
My principal challenge now is sight loss, is balance, and is fatigue. I get so exhausted so quickly.
It's been an ongoing journey the last 5 years, a year of medical trial, and then 5 years of coming to terms with a disability that suddenly lands and change of direction. And it's an ongoing process, like it is every day for you. So your message is very much up to the moment and relevant, and you're living it every moment.
I have to live it every moment. The line that I come out with in my talk, do we give up or do we get up? That is every day, because I wake up and it's like you open your eyes, it's not a bad dream, I can't see. And I walk into a door frame or pee on the floor or do something that I shouldn't do, And you're thinking, what's happened to me? And this is what's happened to me. Yeah, there could be a loaf here now. You've done it, Shane. You've redeemed it.
Right.
Yeah, look at that. As a man in their mid-40s with 4 children, I do my best, and I go and play cricket with my son. Same shot every time. Can't see the ball at all, but I play the same shot, and I always say, "You won't get me out. Just, bat and pad together. There they go." And he doesn't get me out, but I can't see the ball.
Yeah, I'd say he's a massive inspiration. And he is like my role model, which is...
Oh, thanks, John.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've still got 50% of my tumour in my head. Thankfully, it's benign. But every year I go back to the hospital to have an MRI scan, and I bumped into my surgeon. He said I was that far from deeming you to be inoperable. He said I couldn't see a way of operating on you without leaving you paralysed, dribbling in the corner of a room, unable to move. And he looked at me and he said, "James, I'm looking at you today, able to walk, able to talk, and it's a total miracle." And that was the point at which I thought, wow, there's the lesson. Don't constantly stare at the problem, but sometimes be thankful and learn to be thankful about the solutions. And it never leaves me, that moment, because of course one has those moments daily, hourly, minutely, where you're thinking to yourself, there's another mountain. I can't do that. But don't dwell on that all the time.